Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, January the 15th. We're about halfway through first month of the year, and it continues to be a crazy market. We've had lots of stuff moving around kind of wildly. Tesla, Beyond Meat, some of the other ones, Apple, really crazy things moving around, and I guess the backdrop, of course, is the S&P. But as we know, we had the China trade deal was signed today. It's been coming up. This has actually started almost 2 years ago, when Trump started trying to do the negotiation, all that kind of stuff, and back and forth. And uh, remember, how fast we would have these knee-jerk reactions with the market when we get a tweet one way or the other, and all that. At least for the phase one part of the deal is now over or behind us. So that was signed today, and let me show you. Matter of fact, let me clean this chart up a little bit. This is the S&P, and we've got right. I believe it was here or here when the maybe it was here when the trade deal was signed, and um, I had been going back the last several days. If you've been in the trading rooms, I was going back and forth whether this is going to be a sell the news deal or obviously three ways: sell the news. We've seen this coming for months and months and months and months, or okay, now this is finally done, and it might catapult us, to another level higher, now that it's confirmed. Or the more likely was it's baked in, and that's kind of what we got. This looks pretty dramatic, but this is, let's see, 3280 to 98. This is not, that's not that big a range, and so basically, a lot of chop today. We did kind of come back down and touch. Actually, took out the opening print low there this morning, so started to turn a little bit bearish looking, at least on the day. And I tried this morning, I tried to come up here. I was trying to short the 3300 level because that's a huge psychological magnet. And I got ready there, couldn't pull the trigger, got ready there, couldn't pull the trigger, got ready there, couldn't pull the trigger because we hadn't quite gotten there. And so, missed all that. But I do think we'll get another chance. I'm still continuing to target 3,300 on Friday. Of course, Friday is monthly option expiration, so we could be, we could move around a lot between now and then. Now, the expected move to Friday is 22 points, so, plus or minus 22 points. And we've, I guess on a daily basis, we've kind of blown a lot of expected moves, but on a weekly basis, we've kind of been fairly in line with expected moves, somewhat. So I think that's reasonable to think, that we still go to 3,300. It's a big magnet. We'll probably even know tomorrow if we probably know tonight actually, if this is going to just kind of roll over and it's all baked in and we sell the news and all that kind of stuff, or we're just going to keep chopping around. The reason I think we'll keep chopping around, at least in the short term, is that we are now officially into earnings season. We've had a lot of the big banks reporting so far. Most have been disappointing, honestly. We've got all the big tech names. We've got Apple and Amazon and Google and so forth, Facebook, coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I think, tomorrow the China deal will be old news, ancient history, and we'll start focusing on earnings and so forth. And, I think now that we've had this just monumental drive higher, really off that level there, I think, we'll probably get back into more of this kind of market where we, come down, go up, and that kind of thing. Again, at this point, I'm not expecting a rollover, that kind of thing. There's no reason for that unless the Fed does something silly, or I mean, we get some inflation and the Fed decides to do something with rates or something, but or we have some kind of hiccup with the China deal or the potential for phase two of the China deal, but I don't think that's going to be for a little while. So, again, I want to continue playing this up a little bit higher, but I am going to be, I've got a couple of hedges on, for the S&P. I'm going to be adding more as we go. So now is starting to be the time to start doing that. So if you don't have any hedging on the downside, I would start adding a little bit here. And if you've got profit in stocks like, for example, Apple or whatever, I'm just picking a stock, that have had these long extended moves, might be a time to either put some tight stops in place or to take a little off the table, that type thing. And again, I'm not calling a top here or anything, but I am saying, and I will, throw it out there, I think this is a good place. 3,300, big magnet, big psychological level, is a good place to pause, regroup, reversion to the mean, pull back a little bit perhaps, or at a minimum, I think maybe just chop around here for a little while as we digest the earnings that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So that again, I center everything around the S&P because that's kind of the heartbeat of the market, and I'm watching the NASDAQ, of course, but it's a very, very, very similar pattern. Again, we could keep going higher, but I think 3,300 probably, at least in the short run, might be a good place to pause, catch our breath. And I'd love to see some consolidation. I'd love to see us pull back 50 points, 100 points in the S&P. And the main reason it's selfishly because I want to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it here. And we can make money, on the downside as well if we do get some kind of move down or flush down. And I will say this too: we know that on the down moves. Let me go to a smaller time frame. On the down moves, what the saying is: the market takes the stairs up, and the elevator down. You get these flushes. That's a pretty decent amount from there to there. Get these flushes can come very, very quickly. So be at least aware of that, of that possibility. So anyway, again, same plan that we've been saying all along. We want to continue looking higher, but we are much nearer the stopping point, perhaps. So be a little more aware and aggressive on your hedging, and maybe taking some profit and adding some stops. And if you need some help with hedging or not sure what's the best way to do it, of course, reach out to me in the bias room or in the main room. I'm in there very often. I'll be in there every day next week, actually, both rooms. So, I'll help you any way that I can. So with that, let me wind it up here. Have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.